G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing the game between Geelong and Richmond, which was at the MCG yesterday afternoon. And it was Geelong getting the job done by 39 points. Cats have made it to top two. How about that? Who would have thought going into the start of the season that Geelong would find themselves in that spot? As Cats fans, you never really know what the season's kind of going to entail, but we know at our best we're probably top six, but you know there's a lot of things that you can't control, like injuries definitely took a toll for the Cats in 2023 after winning the flag in 2022. So teams being able to back it up has been a bit of a challenge at times, and yeah, just can't believe how they keep doing it. Like to let the rest of the competition probably just go, how the heck they keep just rocking up and just basically making a top four. So, yeah, very pleased with the club in terms of just their continuous effort to make it, their every post a winner where they can, or at least do their best to qualify as high as they can, and prioritise the health of the players to make sure that when the finals do come along, that Geelong are as fresh as possible to try and give themselves a chance. So, whilst it's a great spot to be in, top two, it guarantees you nothing. What you got to do from here, I guess, is where the real stuff starts. And finishing top four is obviously really important. You want to be on the map in the first place, so you've got to make the eight. Top two gives you home finals all the way through. Unless we somehow get in a situation where we're playing Adelaide, who finished higher than us. So, that's really pleasing to see. And yet again, Geelong, I think it's 14 or 15 out of 19 seasons have made top four, which is quite remarkable over the last 20 years. So, I've kind of gone the philosophical discussion prior to the actual review, but I'm probably more keen to talk about the philosophicals because the game in its entirety, not too much of an event really. Geelong got the job done. They sealed up a top two position, which was the most important thing, getting through the game unscathed. If they really, really tried and really went on with it, probably could have made it, 120-point margin, thereabouts, whatever they would have liked. But, going into finals, you just want to make sure that, you minimise the impact of injuries and likelihood of that. If you're playing at full tilt and running back and forth like maniacs, then, I think they tried to manage the minutes and manage the intensity as the game sort of was beyond doubt. So what we saw in the first half was, really positive, just in terms of, Geelong definitely had a fair few shots and they could have been up probably 10 goals almost at quarter time if they had kicked a bit straighter. So, but that's totally fine. It was, really good pressure from the Cats. The Tigers turned it over at will. They kept kicking it back to us. And then, off half back, Geelong were very, very dangerous and very damaging off the turnover, which was where sort of, a bunch of the score sort of came from, as you'd expect. Don't think around the source Geelong were particularly that great. And I think it's been a feature throughout the season. But, if you're still finishing top two without being that great around the ball, then all the power to you, I guess. So They know what they're doing. They'll sort it out, what needs to be sorted out. But at quarter time, the game's almost, sorted out. Tigers have come back from a 40-point margin. I think previously it was Carlton where they sort of fell over in the second half. So what Geelong did was, while they stumbled a bit in the second half, they didn't leak like crazy. But, to our credit, it kept the Tigers to just 2 goals in the first half, which was very promising. So not only being an offensive threat, as we can see, 23 scoring shots to half-time, just kept the Tigers to 5 and 2 goals out of that. So, if you could just look at this and just go, yep, how good, then, rebounding like madness was really good to see. Lots of running chain, handball, pressure was really good, as mentioned. Connection up forward was decent. It wavered a bit in the second half and just wavered in terms of us not being able to sort of execute that final kick. Hopefully that comes out in the wash, with your training and whatnot throughout the week. But Geelong had lots of opportunities and very inaccurate in the end. But yeah, hopefully that corrects itself. But the main thing is just getting the shots, getting to a position where you've got, what have we got there? 33 scoring shots. We've both been averaging about 32. I've been keeping a very close eye on number of scoring shots that we've had a week, or number of, not necessarily scoring shots, but yeah, goals, behinds, add them up. I would call them scoring shots because you can still have a crack from the boundary and miss everything. So that was a scoring shot, but you didn't register a score. So yeah, and there was plenty that didn't make the trip, or plenty that went out on the full, and so yeah, they gave themselves plenty of chances. The second half, you can't be really too concerned or too worried. I mean, when you're watching it, you just wanted to just absolutely put the foot down and go in for the whole 120 minutes to keep the habits, in a good spot. So yeah, like there was times where you're just like, oh come on, just finish it off, like yeah, and gave the Tigers some cheap ones sort of as the game wore on, but wasn't more of a fact of Geelong being too bad with the ball, but just merely a work rate thing. And yeah, Geelong put the cue in the rack probably at half time. To be fair, they were just cruising in the second half, just trying to make sure that the Tigers didn't pull off an all-time comeback, and that also that players were fit and healthy for the first qualifying final coming up. So yeah, it's an interesting game to review. Just scintillating the first half. Lots of opportunities on goal, didn't make the most of them. So yeah, it could have been what have we got there? 23 scoring shots to 5. Yeah, it could have very well easily been 14, 15 goal margin at half time. But yeah, it's just that last kick. The numbers will be interesting because the Tigers just I mean, for their own sanity, they were playing for different reasons as well. They wanted to finish off the season well, and I'm sure Uze would have said at halftime, boys, it's not good enough. We just must win the second half, and like life depends on it. Just so there's some positivity going into season 2026. So on that front, kudos to the Tigers. I think they've played similar teams this year and have had margins that haven't been too overblown, and Brisbane comes to mind when they played the MCG. I think it was 28 points in the end. So again, I don't read too much into the margin itself, but Geelong did what they had to do, and then just conserved energy and and injury probabilities in the second half, playing a different game, looking towards the qualifying final as well. But we'll have a look at the numbers. Plus 17 with the Tigers. So they got easy access to the ball. The inside 50s were just about even, but we know the efficiency in Geelong and their front half game there. With the ball, Geelong were relatively good. Probably over-handballed at times. It felt like we were trying to be Harlem Globetrotters a little bit. Probably just trying to have a little bit of fun. Fair enough. 62% efficiency inside 50, the Tigers 41. Again, our ability to defend when the ball does go inside the 50, but our ability to be open enough and dangerous enough to be able to get a score on the board has been a feature all season, as we can see at the average for Geelong is really positive. Free kick count doesn't need to be even, plus 11 to the Cats. Lots of tackling, lots of holding the ball, work done there, and the umpiring didn't really have the best day at the office either. Didn't feel like the clearances were even, but they broke even with the hitouts, very even as well. From the centre bounce, the Tigers were good from that side of things. Geelong around the ground, but there wasn't a high clearance, high stoppage sort of game. So it was a very, very open game, it must be said. Well, not a lot of pressure going on there. Contested ball, Tigers won by +4. Won the outside ball. When you win the possession count, of course, you're going to win. Tigers turnover more, which was expected there. Cats were under their normal turnover sort of game, so that was positive. Tigers took a lot of marks. I swear they had like 26 early in the last quarter or late in the third or whatever it was, but they were marking the ball at will. Geelong still got close to the 100, but not quite. Thankfully, they got over 100 on the scoreboard. That was looking a bit dicey. I thought, you got to get 100 against Richmond, surely. Marks inside 50 has been a really good feature for the Cats in 2025. 19 marks with the average of 16. Tigers took 5 above their average, and again, we fell asleep a little bit in that second half. So that's how it goes sometimes. contested marks. Geelong good on that front. Led for the whole game, minus the Tigers must have kicked a point in the first little minute of the game. And where are we? Geelong out-tackled Richmond pretty well, plus 17. I think it was almost even possession. So, a good tackling display from the Cats to pressure the Tigers. Tigers didn't do too much in terms of front half, forward 50 pressure, but 12 for Geelong was a really good sign. And I wonder how many bounces from Max Holmes and Bailey Smith. I'm sure they got a few in there. 1%ers, Tigers too good there on this occasion, although inconsequential in the end. All right, votes time. It was tough at times to pick out the votes, but I've got a good idea. I'm going to go Bailey Smith, 3 votes. He had 34 disposals, had 3 marks, 4 tackles, 7 clearances, almost 600 metres gained. Also set up a couple of goals. He's had a fantastic season, and I've probably been a bit harsh on him at times when he perhaps should have got a vote or 2 or more. But he's had a fine season, and he's been a bit of a Brownlow smoky. Probably not even a smoky. He's in the top 3, top 5 discussion at the moment. The Brownlow betting market, I'm sure, is all over that. But what an acquisition he's been for Geelong. And he was just dashing and running and weaving all day. And, just setting up teammates, set up a couple of goals as well. And again, I think Jazza missed a couple that he set up as well. So, it could have even been a bigger day on the goal assist. But, you can't control all of the goal assists. You can get it there. But it's on the player to finish it off as decides whether you get a goal assist or not. Makes sense to me. Over to Tommy Stewart for 2 votes. So I really liked his game, getting back into some good form. 23 possessions for him, 9 marks, 3 tackles, and also had a clearance, 500 metres gained. Really, really sound behind the ball. We've been screaming out for this for probably quite some time. Had a couple of little turnovers, but in general, he was very strong. Back to the Tom Stewart that we know and love. Not to say that we don't love Tom Stewart out of form, but we love him more when he's on song and in form. So very Tom Stewart-like game. Was really good to see him back some better form. Tommy Atkins gets 1 vote for me, and he had the 27 disposals, missed a shot on goal, 6 marks, 9 tackles, couple of clearances, couple of goal assists. Speaking of having fine seasons, this guy is just the heart and soul of the Cats. Maybe future captain, we'll see. Just does the basics really well, and he's a really good kick inside 50 as well. You wouldn't have thought that off of his profile, but he just does everything to a T, 110% wherever he can. And he's tough in and under, as we know. 9 tackles. He's broken the record, so big congratulations to Tom Atkins on breaking the tackles record. Of all time, really. I think taking over Scott Selwood, so 205 tackles thereabouts, over Scott Selwood's 202. So phenomenal effort from the Axe. And I'm going to try and just get through everyone else as quickly as possible. So Jeremy Cameron, 4 goals for, 20 disposals, 7 marks, a couple of clearances. Could have had a massive day. Didn't have his best kicking boots on, but was still able to knock through 4. Hundreds was well and truly off after the Essendon game where he only kicked 4 and 0 against the Swans doesn't help. But that's all right. I don't mind that. He'd need 17 goals in the final series, I think, to make it. So very unlikely. Max Holmes, it's probably good, really. Probably one less distraction the Cats need. Just focus on playing good footy and not having to think about Jez kicking a certain amount. Maxi Holmes' game was really good. 26 disposals, 5 marks, tackle, 3 clearances, nearly 700 metres gained, set up a goal as well. Cruised along, did his job very nicely. A couple of defensive lapses, but he's an offensive weapon, playing where he's good. Stengel's game was really good, outside of just execution on that last kick. He's been wayward in front of goals, but 2 goals for, 16 disposals, 4 marks, a couple of tackles, 2 goal assists. He could have a really big game in him soon if he can get these behinds down and these goals up. He clearly has some tough shots at times, but there was some he'd normally just nail. So could be in for a 6 or a 7 if he's a dead-eye dick in maybe a final. That'd be pretty hard to do, but small forwards in finals. Very, very dangerous, and good to see him in some decent form heading in. Speaking of big finals players, Paddy Dangerfield, 2 goals for him, 17 disposals, 5 marks. Tackle, got involved in the ruck. Probably hasn't got too many hit-outs for his career, but that was quite amusing. Clearance as well. No goal assists, but I'm sure he got a few score assists, no doubt about that. But good to see him hit the scoreboard. Needs to tidy up. 25 metres, 30 metres out directly in front. Practice that 100 times throughout the week. Make sure that, that does not happen in the big stage. Reece Stanley kicked a goal. It was a nice snap too. 9 goals. Not 9 goals, 9 disposals. A couple of marks, 5 tackles, a couple of clearances, 20 hit-outs. Yeah, just really steady in the midfield. Nank didn't go crazy, so I'm happy with that. Sean Manor was quiet early, but got involved as the game wore on. A couple of goals for him, 18 disposals. Took a couple of marks, 4 tackles. No goal assists this week. No doubt he had some score involvements, though. He's a very busy character and, going to be very important come finals time. Zach Guthrie was good. 15 disposals, 7 marks, 3 tackles. What you see is what you get. He's the mini brick wall for us down back. Him and Tom Stewart and Jack Henry and these guys solidifying the back line in fine form. Jed Buse is back into the fray this week. Scotty loves to leave it right to the last minute before they throw Jed in. So Jed had the 15 possessions, 6 marks, 3 tackles, 3 clearances. I'm sure the Cats are probably a little bit conscious of the small forward brigade and trying to get lockdown and defender in. That's a little bit of a smaller type to probably help with those real dangerous small forwards. Might be what Scotty has in mind. Ryan Myers, quite low down here for this 26 disposals he did have. He had a lot of handballs, though, as we can see, 19 handballs. He had a couple of marks, 3 clearances. Yeah, not as much metres gained for Grime, but again, you can't handball as far as you kick normally. So, they got some decent pressure on him. He was still good enough to still rack up a fair bit of the ball inside the contest. Jack Martin kicked 1 goal, 13 disposals, 7 marks, a couple of tackles, set up a goal as well. Love his marking capabilities. Very clean, more often than not. Was able to get on the scoreboard as well as set teammates up. So, absolute firecracker to get underway for September. Ollie Dempsey does what he does best. Starting out the wing, jumping forward, kicking a goal. He had the 17 possessions as well. 3 marks, a couple of tackles, set up 2 goals as well with his crafty work up forward. Love his effort every week. Jack Bowes kicked 1 goal, 2, had the 12 disposals, a couple of marks, 3 tackles. Also got involved in clearance. I think that was a full game for him. So, he's been a sub a fair bit, been a handy sub. Loves to pop up and kick a goal as well. O'Shane Mullen did a pretty decent job on Taranto. He had the 14 disposals himself. Loves a handball. Doesn't love kicking as much. A couple of tackles, 5 tackles in fact. 2 marks. Also got involved in the clearance stakes as well. So again, we talk about players just trying to buckle down and make sure that the opposition best doesn't go too crazy. We'll have to have a look to see how Taranto went. Still had 27, lots of handballs. Probably not the same impact that he'd normally have, but it's good that they're still treating it as if, we're emulating playing on the opposition's, prolific ball winners. Jack Henry just continues on a really good season that he's had. 12 disposals for him, 7 marks. Doesn't get the appreciation outside of the category of how good this guy is, and when he doesn't play, how disorganised we look. So, he's unbelievable for us, and what a player he's been, and hopefully he gets an All-Australian blazer by the end of his career, so we'll see how that goes. Doesn't get 20 possessions and 15 marks a week, but gosh, he's the best contested chess marker I've ever seen. Sam De Koning had 11 disposals, 6 marks, also had a tackle. A couple of moments that, he's always going to have, I think, a couple of shaky moments here and there. I say that most weeks, but in general, I felt that he was relatively strong in the contest. Just needs to keep that concentration and see the contest all the way through. That's my main feedback for De Koning. But he did play well. Lawes had the 10 possessions, 4 marks, a couple of tackles. Been quieter, sort of, throughout the second half of 2025. I don't know if that's more Tom Stewart getting back into form, or if that is teams putting more time and attention into him from him running off halfback. So yeah, it's interesting. Time will tell all. Blitz had a bit of the ball, 9 disposals, a bit of ruck work, 9 hit-outs, couple of marks, couple of tackles. Just a typical Blitz game. There's a lot of stuff on the stat sheet that he does that isn't recorded or shown, but very well celebrated player. Sully had 11 disposals, a couple of marks, and a few tackles for him. Yeah, I think he had a couple of contests that were a bit tough, but in general, yeah, we love what he does. Not as much ball and sort of marking capability this week, but yeah, his repeat efforts in contests is what we love to see. Brad Close, 8 disposals for him and a couple of tackles, set up a goal. Pretty quiet for Closey. Didn't hit the scoreboard in a big way, but yeah, again, I think there's stuff that he does that the team appreciate internally, and I'm sure Geelong supporters appreciate externally as well, just with even nullifying halfback ball movement, which in general we did reasonably well throughout the game. Mitchy Nevitt came on very late in the game, didn't get too much of an opportunity to put a case forward for himself, but he hit the scoreboard. He almost wanted to kick a goal to keep his spot, and he thought, I'll better do the team thing. 3 disposals for him in the short game time he got. Took a mark around the 50, set up a goal as well, as I mentioned before. So, don't know if Mitch will feature in finals. He's a handy player to have if we need to refer to him. So, yeah, that's all she wrote, folks. I can't preview a game that no one knows what it'll be just yet, but it's going to be either Brisbane, Collingwood, or Hawthorn that we're going to be playing. Likely, at the MCG, you would suspect. I have heard about, I don't know how GMHBA Stadium got brought up on the round so far, as an option, because I'm pretty sure it's been knocked out of the park as an even viable option because it'll just be played at the MCG. So I don't really mind. From the principle and the fairness and equality, and every other team playing their home ground, playing finals at their home ground, despite having less capacity than Geelong. Irks me and always will irk me. I'd like to think if other teams supported Geelong and they would see other teams playing home ground finals at their home ground, then you'd potentially appreciate it. And yeah, Geelong have been in a position for a long time, contending for what feels like an eternity, to continually not played where Geelong would like to play. Which it might be GMHBA Stadium, it might be the MCG, and I know you got to win it at the MCG, but tell it to the interstate clubs. Do you just expect the interstate clubs to play 3 consecutive finals at the MCG? Don't know. If Geelong can just be good enough to win it and other teams can be good enough to win it, I don't see the difference between an interstate team having to just, all right, we're going to get more of the MCG. So, yeah, it's just the double standards that irk me more than anything. Having said all of that, I think Geelong's form at the MCG has been decent the last year and a half, probably better than what it's been in Geelong, funnily enough. So I don't mind where it's played, if it's played at the MCG, if it's played at GMHBA. If it's played at GMHBA, it'll be the biggest crowd there and I believe gives Geelong a high probability chance of winning. And everyone goes back to the 2013 final. Well, you had a home final, you lost it. It's like, well, how many finals have Sydney lost in Sydney, and how many finals have West Coast lost over there and Fremantle over there? So there's so many little tidbit arguments back and forths on those. So, yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. I get it. Non-Geelong supporters hate Geelong. They want them to bottom out. That's fine. But, we'll enjoy it. We'll enjoy it wherever it's played and endure what's going to be a brutal final series, no doubt about it. It's going to be very unpredictable. It's going to be very tough to see, who's going to take it all home. I personally think Brisbane are the team to beat, despite they've been pretty inconsistent at times throughout the season. But, I think they're best when they flex their muscle. They just take away all strengths of the opposition and, they're just steadily by foot. the scoring shots that they generate, the stars they have. They've got a few injuries, but yeah, just the list profile they've got, I think it gives them the nod. I hope they don't. I mean, the last thing I want to have happen is Brisbane to win it. But yeah, we'll see what the Cats can do come finals time. So yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you've enjoyed the reviews throughout the season. They will still keep coming as long as the Cats are alive in finals. So yeah, hopefully I'll keep talking for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Hopefully 5 weeks. I think that'll take us through to the grand final. But yeah, can the Cats make it? They can make it. Don't know if they'll win it. Don't know how far they'll get. No one does. But yeah, that's what we're here to see what will pan out and how it'll all sort of, how it'll all go. All right, well, that's all from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review, and give the video a like, subscribe away so you can keep up to date with how the Cats are going throughout the final series, the good, the bad, and the ugly with all of that. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks again for watching on, listening in. Have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next video.